Oh, I think I'm leading in today. Goody. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Dopamine. That's Robert Cochran. I'm Susan Scarlett, and I'm going to take the floor. He doesn't know what I'm going to talk about. These are unscripted 5 minutes, but um, we have the great opportunity tomorrow, both of us, to sit for 2 hours and listen to Phil Stutz in a webinar talking about his tools. And we learned about him from the documentary that Jonah Hill made called Stutz, Stutz. It's on Netflix. I have now watched it 4 times. I've never watched any documentary 4 times. Two of those 4 times, I took notes the whole way through. I would pause it, I would back it up. I was so caught up in what he was saying. And in my life, in my personal life now, we all have some things and issues from time to time. I have come to a stuck place. And I found this amazing series of integrations between our work with Yaks and his work with his tools. And my mind is slightly blown. So, to be a little bit more specific, it dawned on me a couple of days ago that I wasn't saying yes to myself.
Mm,
So I couldn't even get to and because I couldn't get to yes.
right.
So I just sort of reflected back on the types of things that we say yes to here. It doesn't mean, I don't know, 100% yes. It just is an acknowledgement of some truth. And the next part is the and then I realized that's where my real problem was. I couldn't figure it out. Dr. Stutz has this one of his tools is he does these little drawings, and he drew circle, and he said this is a pearl, and then he drew a string, a line, and he said this is a string, and then here's the next pearl. And he said, we all are responsible for connecting, for putting the next pearl on the string. We can't ask someone else to do that. No one else can do that for us. And I thought, oh my gosh, that little pearl is the yes. But without the string, the and, you never get to a fully beautiful necklace.
Yeah, the pearls all drop, right? They're not connected.
They're not connected.
Do-do-do-do.
Did you do? Well done, Robert. So that struck me as a useful tool in my own, growth challenge that I'm having right now. For myself, I'm like, oh wow, this is not just improv games, you know, that are yes and games. It's
Right.
life again.
Well, what I hear in that, so many things, really well explained, is the importance of the iterative nature of living, of being in the moment, right? You could, when you're at this pearl, you can't worry about the one 2 miles down the stream.
Oh yeah.
It's the next pearl that matters,
Yeah.
right? And that's the same way we play with each other, right? How many times we're doing a scene does someone talk about, well, it'll be great when we get to the carnival, or, back when it's like, no, right now, we're at the carnival. This is what we're doing, right?
Right.
Um, that's all that matters. Gosh, someone said something in a beautiful way yesterday. I was at this it was the Yes and Higher Education seminar. So it's a bunch of
Oh,
people who are involved academia wise in expanding Yes and they're writing a book and all these things.
wow.
And they had a couple of lovely sayings, and I'm butchering this one, but in a sense, what she said was the only thing there is now. It was more poetic than that, and that speaks to the pearls. That speaks to yes and as an exercise. So
Hmm.
something to ask him tomorrow, and maybe pre-submit is just to ask him. I think flatly first, is he familiar with improvisation, particularly because of his relationship with Jonah?
Yes,
You know,
that's a good
and
idea.
to see if he knows about the line.
I think he is, will turn out that he is because of many of um, the ways that he and Jonah played and teased each other.
It sounded like it.
It sounded a little bit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he has a number of, actor clients. So, I mean, somewhere along the way, I mean, you would think he'd have some understanding of theatricality, but I don't want to assume that. Maybe he just only sees them as he sees them, and that's that.
Mhm.
We'll find out tomorrow. It's been your daily dose.